Hi everyone, my name's Madison and I work for our education department here at the Grace Co. I was asked to comment on this quilt or just any quilt in our quilt show, and I chose this one to be my favorite. This quilt by Joni Lewis, Grandpa Sherwood quilt, is so cool. I love all the different fabrics in it, and I can tell how intricate and detailed the quilting is just from this picture. It's so crazy how good this looks. I love all the different pumpkins, and I love how the fabric is shifting from different ways. We have squares, we have strips, and then we have columns and rows. And I love it, and then I love the acorns in it, and this looks absolutely amazing, and I am very, very jealous that you get to have this quilt. I love that you had a personal tie to this, and I really do love that you made it like how your grandpa grew pumpkins in the fall, and it's so cute. I would love to talk to you more on inspiration for it, and it is so good. Congrats, you did so amazing, Joni.
Hi, I'm Cody with the Grace Company. I'm with the engineering team here, and I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite quilts that I saw in our fall festival. The one that I picked today was Love's Labor by Kathy Champion. I just really enjoyed this quilt because of the texture that she was able to create with this quilt, along with the colors and blocks, the way that it's pieced together. And the way that the texture really comes together with the piecing really just gives it an aspect that I could easily relate with the swirls and the blocks. I think that it made it so it was something that I felt like I was drawn to. And I thought that it was something that looked like it took a lot of effort and planning to do, and I just really appreciated the amount of work and effort that went into it. And I just think that it's also a beautiful texture. It's something that I enjoyed to look at, so I was really just thought they did a really good job, and thought it's just a really well done quilt.
Hi, my name is Brian Landine. I'm on the marketing team here at the Grace Company, and I really like the quilting community and learning all the different techniques and emotions and everything that goes into quilting. And as part of this, we were asked to choose our favorite quilts and quilt blocks that were submitted. And so for my favorite quilt, I chose Navy, Our Black Cat. It was submitted by Amy Simmons. And I like this because it shows kind of the beginning experience of a quilter. We see all these highlights of these great grand quilts that are kind of the epitome of someone's quilting journey. And I really liked this one because we see this quilter's kind of beginning. And it's very creative. I love the colors and the style that went into creating that background, the mosaic there, and appealing to the emotions with the cat. I had a cat growing up named Strider, and he was my best friend for a very long time. We rescued him out of a tree. If I had known how to quilt, I absolutely would have made a quilt with Strider. So congrats on making such a beautiful quilt, and now you'll have something that you'll always be able to look at and remember and keep that. So congratulations and thank you for submitting this beautiful piece.
Hi, I'm Allegra Erznazanik, and I am an account executive here at the Grace Company. The quilt that I picked is Pentagram by Ruth Silva. And I picked this one for a lot of different reasons. First off, I am just a big fan of astrology in general, space, kind of more of the supernatural, medical, physical things. Those are definitely stuff that seems to draw my attention. And in the description it says it took her 3 years to finish this quilt for her bestie. And that's a lot of time, it's a lot of dedication. You can obviously tell how much effort and time went into this quilt. And there's a few things that really draw my eye to it. One of the first things is the fabric choice. There's a lot of different fabrics in here, and you can tell that really it took a lot of time and planning and dedication to pick the fabrics and really decide where they're going. I also really like that you can see, you know, the astrological signs or your zodiacs around the outside of that pentagram in the middle. I love that that's part of the design, and I think it's really great as well. I also love that we have a border as well, and it looks like, you know, it's galaxy themed, it's the space. I really think it just ties this whole thing together, branching not only from just kind of the metaphysical aspects, but tying in together, you know, kind of the universe and this whole thing, and just how long it took to make, and knowing that it was not just a personal project, but a gift for a friend is really amazing, and I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite ones that I've seen so far.
Hey, I'm Jared Krasnosnik here at the Grace Company. I'm an account executive. I participate in some other videos, so you might have seen me before. Today I'm going over my favorite quilts. This one was really hard to do, especially with all of the categories. I just thought there were so many creative quilts out there. This one is called Pentagram by Ruth Silva. And it says it took her 3 years to finally finish it, and it was for her bestie, which I think is so sweet. Really, that's some dedication. And I just really love the colors on this one, and especially the purple and just kind of the motifs on here. I just think it's super creative, the faces, you know, the scales. You know, and we're in fall, we're getting towards, you know, Halloween. It kind of reminded me of that as well. But really the colors and the composition, I just really love, and I think it's super adorable and well done.
It's kind of funny. I didn't think that maybe Jarek would pick this one, but I think it's funny that he did.
Hi, my name's Ryan. I work in the engineering department here at Grace Company, and the quilt I chose today was Labyrinth by Cheryl Zervansky. And I chose this quilt because the pattern stood out to me immediately. The depths and the dimensions of the patterns on the quilt were very intriguing and was very interesting to look at, and I really can appreciate the details that were put into the patterns that were made into this quilt, and it is a very beautiful and aesthetic quilt to look at.
Hi, my name is Mark Martin, and I am here at the Grace Company. I've been here 11 years, and I am really excited to talk about this quilt that I chose, Amelia Wynn by Katie Wynn. This quilt, there's a lot to choose from, by the way, and when I was going through all the quilts, this one stuck out to me because it reminded me of my two young kids. They started quilting on our first machine. It was a 14 plus, and they were on a stepping stool. One of them at the time was, I think, 3 or 4. My other one was about 8 or 9, and they were doing quilts. And so when I saw this, with her having the holding the handlebars, I was like, you know what, this is the one. Then I saw all the design and have her go through, and it's just so peaceful, and I just love it. And the description was, Amelia pieced a 9 patch of 5-inch pre-cut squares and then added the sashing and border. She quilted it herself on the Quilt 15 Pro, great machine. Her mom cut the sashing and border fabric and sewed the binding on. So yeah, this just reminded me how wonderful the quilting is, that young kids could get started, and so it just really made me think about my two young ones, and they did their own quilts. So Amelia, fantastic, you know, you doing your own 9-patch 5-inch quilts. Pieced them together and got them all quilted, so congratulations. I thought it was really awesome. The colors looked really nice, and it just stood out to me, and I just wanted to let you know how proud I am of you and all the quilting that you have ahead of you. You're a young one in the quilting, and so you're going to do many, many great things. And so yeah, I'm just happy to see what you've done, and congratulations again. So again, that was Amelia Wynn by Katie Wynn, so beautiful quilt.
Hi, my name is Dan. I'm a video editor for the Grace Company, and the quilt that I picked out from my own kind of creative category is called Elk Battocks by Christine Henry. I really enjoy the kind of composition that you picked out, just the picture that's on the very front of it. That block itself is actually, like, I really enjoy that visual with the elk right next to the waterfall. I just think the image of it looks very, very cool. And I really like the blocks that you used for the border. I don't know, something about a lot of these are my favorite color. So like, I really like the greens and the blues that are used in this. And I don't know, it just kind of looks like it has kind of almost a fantasy feel to it, almost like a kind of fairy tale-esque. Like, if I walk into the woods and I see that elk, I'm just gonna have that same feeling where I'm just like, oh, this is magical. So I think that you have a very, very cool quilt. And it looks like we're learning to use a panel, which is really cool. That, like, if this is your first time using that, I think that it worked out really good. So Christine, great job on this quilt. I really liked it. This is my pick.
Hi, this is Melinda Romero, one of the Grace Company's account executives. The quilt I chose today, To Mom with Love by Heidi Bernard. To me, just like the title of the quilt, To Mom with Love, to me this quilt just screams love. From the colors, the pattern, just how everything's pieced together. But they're not only pieced, but of course, you know, that stitching in the quilt itself. To me, even though it's To Mom, to me, it is a very kind of romantic type of quilt. This is a quilt I personally would love to have in my home, whether it's on display or even just on my bed. It's a very beautiful quilt. It's a timeless classic, you know, just with the colors, the flowers, just how everything was pieced together. I love this quilt, To Mom with Love. And again, you can just feel the love coming out of that quilt.
Hi, I'm Kyle Summer. I do industrial design and engineering here at the Grace Company. The quilt that I chose, is kind of my favorite of this show, is the Kaleidoscope quilt by Rose Parkhill. Kind of depicts this florally image and quilt that has been fractaled and broken apart in a bunch of different directions. It seems like they're using like isometric cubes and things that create like little indented, I don't know, just geometric forms. And then they also have these 6-pointed like little hexagons that are like fractaling out. I find it both, it's like an optical illusion, but it also feels really florally and organic. So I really think that contrast of natural floral and like greenery elements, and then the geometry and stair stepping of like those cubes and stuff to be really compelling and evocative. Just really well done. And I think it's a great new trick.
Hi, my name is Courtney and I work in the education department, and I have chosen Take Me to the Dog Show by Christina. I love that they have used all of the little ribbons from the dog show winnings, and I just love when people use just unique things to quilt. Especially all of these ribbons. I'm sure that it looks like her dog has won many ribbons, so this is like a really beautiful way to display all of the ribbons that her dog has won. I also love dogs, so how could I not choose this one? I love that the satin kind of has that beautiful sheen, and I'd be interested to see how big it is, but I bet it's just stunning on the wall, and I love the use of the rosettes in the quilt itself. I think that's pretty amazing. And it looks like there's some really nice free motion pebbling in there, which is just, it makes it pop. I love that so much. just a beautiful one-of-a-kind piece for sure.